road to Indianapolis beginning. Top-seeded Tennessee turns the keys to the car over to freshman point guard Megan Simmons as they get set for a game against Stetson. Meanwhile, Maggie Lucas in Penn State. Maggie Lucas already has the freshman scoring record in school history. A 6-11 matchup coming with Dayton at University Park. Kelsey Bolte and Iowa State have the dubious task of trying to stop the 26-game winning streak for Brian George's and the Marist Red Foxes. And you want NCAA tournament pressure? What's at stake? Just look at the faces of Georgia Tech and Alex Montgomery as they get set for a 5-12 matchup with Bowling Green. Hi, everybody, and welcome into ESPN's exclusive coverage of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championships. Trey Wingo here with Carol Lawson and Carolyn Peck. We're delighted to be with you. We'll be here all day long. What are you looking for, Kara, in these early games? I like the 6-11 matchup between Dayton and Penn State. It's going to be an up-and-down affair, a lot of scoring. Exciting to watch.
Well, I'm looking to see if the Tennessee Lady Vols are for real in going after a national championship. They will be if they play like they did in the SEC tournament in Nashville.
34 straight home games the Lady Vols have won, and a 36-0 all-time when playing at home in the first or second round. We'll be here all day. Enjoy the action.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by the Capital One Cup. Learn more and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com. And in part by Pizza Hut, all your favorites at great prices every day. And the new Audi A8.
Hi, I'm Reese Davis. The journey has begun for the Capital One Cup. At the end of the school year, one men's and one women's Division I athletics program will win this coveted award given to the school with the best on-field performance in NCAA Division I championships. Each winning school will receive $200,000 to fund student-athlete graduate-level scholarships. Follow your school and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com.
Good night, gluttony. A farewell long awaited. Good night, stuffy. Good night, outdated. Good night, old luxury and all of your wares. Good night, bygones everywhere. Good morning, illumination. Good morning, innovation. Good morning, unequaled inspiration.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Hi, I'm Aaron Lane.
Hi, I'm Steve Bass from Bass Tire, your home-owned, home-operated tire store.
We got great deals on Michelin LTX MS2, our best-selling light truck tire.
March 10th through April the 6th, Michelin is offering a mail-in manufacturer's $70 rebate on the purchase of 4 Michelin tires. Come see us for details. Steve Bass Tire, 3801 Nolensville Road, next door to Grassmere Zoo.
Hi, we're looking to save some money on our car insurance.
Great! At Progressive, you can compare rates side by side so you get the same coverage, often for less.
Wow, that is huge.
And this is to remind you that you could save hundreds.
Yeah, that'll certainly stick with me.
We'll take it.
Go, big money! I mean, go, it's your break, honey.
Same coverage, more savings. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
We welcome you to the opening tip-off of the 2011 tournament from Knoxville. It's the NCAA Women's Championship presented on ESPN by Capital One. And it all begins in just a few moments. The race to Indianapolis and the crowning of a national champion on April 5th on ESPN. We begin appropriately at the home of the 8-time national champion Tennessee Lady Vols. The #1 seed in the Dayton region by virtue of a 31-2 record. They face little Stetson University in round 1, and we bring an outstanding matchup in game 2. The 8-9 seeds, Marquette and Texas, here from Knoxville. We welcome you to Thompson Bowling Arena. Dave O'Brien and Deb Antonelli, and Tennessee's Megan Simmons could be the next great star for them.
One of 4 players that averages in double figures and the leading scorer for Tennessee, the SEC Freshman of the Year, 5 times over 20 points. And then Victoria McGowan, the 5'4" sophomore for Stetson, who leads them in scoring. A lot of ball handling responsibility against the size and the full court pressure of Tennessee.
Time now for our Capital One starting lineups for the Stetson Hatters. Tierra Brown, a senior, averaging 14 points a game. Sims and McGowan and Grabowski all hit 4 double figures for Tennessee. Angie Bjorklund could not be shooting the basketball better. Simmons can be flat dynamic, but the Lady Vols go 11 or 12 deep, and they're getting very good post play coming into the tournament. Stetson has already had some magic. McGowan with that 55-footer that beat the buzzer. Stetson rallied to beat Belmont 48-46 in the Atlantic Sun Conference Tournament semifinals. They would win that tournament and get the bid. And what do they get? They get the #1 seed and the #4 team in America in the Tennessee Lady Vols of the legendary Pat Summitt. Tennessee in the white wins the opening tip in front of a very boisterous crowd here for 11 o'clock in the morning, and we're underway.
Man-to-man defense to start out for Stetson. We'll see some zone. We won't see too much extended pressure out of them. They're going to have to protect inside out.
And a quick foul against Stetson. And that personal will go against Grabowski. Natasha Grabowski, 6'3" senior, so good size there, but it's going to be a tough day for her.
Yeah, she's the only player with size for Stetson. Tennessee has 5 players with size on the inside.
Strickland with a turnaround, got a great look and buried it. Shakina Strickland coming in, averaging 13 points and about 7.5 rebounds a game.
Tennessee bigger at every position on the floor, and they start out in their man-to-man defense, but expect multiple looks out of them as they will look to extend and try to go for the kill early, if you will.
Up top here for Tierra Brown, good 3-point shooter. Stetson with 20 wins during the season. A pull-up pop for 2, and Brown nails it.
One of the things that Lynn Bria, the head coach for Stetson, talked about is we can just make that first basket in here. Maybe we'll get us to settle down. You knew they would be nervous in this environment.
Who wouldn't be? Spaney is walking with it. Tabor Spaney gives it up. You talked about Lynn Bria, 3rd year, and she says that her kids have not looked intimidated by the trip to Tennessee, but just to make sure, she politely turned down an invitation to visit the palatial Lady Vols locker room.
Probably a wise choice if you don't want to be intimidated. What a beautiful facility this is, and their practice facility as well.
Brown with another one, long 3 off the window. That won't fall, and Glory Johnson there with the rebound. And talking about the Lady Vols, who may have the chance for an outstanding tournament run. How about number 25 for Tennessee, Glory Johnson? And she collects the rebound underneath, trying to go right back up with it, and does.
Well, the one thing you know about Glory Johnson, their 6'3" junior, is she's going to bring effort on the defensive end, and she is constantly going to crash the offensive boards. Those are 2 things that are constant out of Glory Johnson.
Terrific defender, all SEC first team and all defensive team in the Southeastern Conference.
Nobody has gone to the free throw line more than Glory Johnson in the SEC.
Way downtown, Tierra Brown, and a foul with 18:10 to go here in the first half on Summit Court. And the legendary Pat Summitt has led Tennessee to 30 NCAA tournaments, just named SEC Coach of the Year for the 8th time after a perfect 16-0 conference run. And this team may be as deep as any the Hall of Famer has ever had. So Tennessee coming in at 31-2. They've lost twice all year. They enter the tournament rolling, having won 22 consecutive games. Bjorklund draws the foul in the act of shooting a long one here. She's hit and will go to the line. And fouled by Tierra Brown. She picks up her first.
Angie Bjorklund, known as a 3-point shooter, the best in Tennessee's history, does not get to the free throw line very often.
Shooting 79%, hits the first. But Angie overall, I mean, from 3-point land, she's always been a great shooter. But how about in her last several games, 16 out of 18 from 3?
Can't shoot it much better than that. And she only missed 1 shot from outside the arc in the SEC championship game. It's a pretty good tournament.
Yeah, 45% for the year from 3. Brown is taking all their shots, but they are not falling. And Tennessee really wants to get out and run whenever they can in transition. Simmons can't hit that one. And a rebound tapped out of play by Stetson. So Tennessee will inbound, 17:34 to go in the first half.
As Tennessee tries to create tempo in this game, they want to make sure they own the middle of the floor. They want to establish their back-to-the-basket play around the blocks early. So far, they've taken some jump shots.
Strickland, the SEC Player of the Year. Johnson has it knocked away from her, so the Hatters with the theft and trailing by 3.
Good help inside.
McGowan's pass tipped out of play. Victoria McGowan with that miracle shot, that miracle in Macon they called it. You saw it on SportsCenter, the 55-foot heave.
Well, she's got most of the ball handling responsibilities against Tennessee, and it's very difficult against their length and their quickness on the perimeter.
And what you're seeing here is almost every pass that Stetson makes is partially deflected. It's tipped because of that length, but Stetson strikes to more than one.
What a confident start for the 16 seed coming into this building. It's got a lot of orange in it early.
And will have a little bit more perhaps in the afternoon session. A hard drive by Johnson for 2, because Texas will be taking on Marquette. What we expect will be a terrific game between the 8 and 9 seeds.
Expect a game in the high 80s, a lot of offense, a very good transition game. Both teams can fill it up.
Sims straight on, no, off the back of the iron. Spaney came in, dislodged it, and now it's lost out of play by Victoria McGowan. We go back to the Grabowski who moments ago.
This is such an important key for Stetson to be able to score some points inside. Now Strickland caught on in transition defense, caught inside guarding the 6'3" player. She's very capable of doing that, but that's a great move by Grabowski inside.
Grabowski transfer from the University of Cincinnati. Swished, and there's Bjorklund right on cue, basically. The way she has been shooting the basketball, I don't know if anybody can guard her in this tournament.
When she sets her feet, and she has worked so hard over her career to be able to accelerate off screens, know how to use screens. That's part of the reason why she's the best three-point shooter. Over 300 makes in her career.
Grabowski twice had it knocked out of her hands. McGowan lost her dribble. Sims off the fake, taking on Strickland on the drive. Pretty move for 2.
Right now, Stetson's doing an excellent job of pushing in transition and forcing some mismatch opportunities, and they're taking advantage of it.
They do not look blown away to be here, which is saying quite a bit. The only other NCAA appearance for them was a first-round loss to LSU in 2005. They faced the #1 seed and lost that one. Foul here will go against Bjorklund. Although she is cooking coming into the tournament, knocking down one three-point shot after another.
ESPN Fantasy Baseball. Sign up for free at ESPN.com.
We're breaking out. Let's go.
Gotta get the dodo.
Release the hounds.
Lancaster, no! It's a trap!
Nonsense. My father owned one. Great goodness, I've been hoodwinked.
Any Pizza Hut pan pizza is now just $10.
So before they come to their senses, we're stocking up. This is our best idea ever.
Pizza Hut's world-famous pan pizza is now just $10. Any pan pizza, any size, any toppings, only $10. Add Pepsi and breadsticks for just $5 more, only at your Pizza Hut.
In today's cars, there's self-adjusting cylinders, self-deploying spoilers. Why not a self-cleaning engine? Next generation Pennzoil motor oil cleans out up to 40% of sludge. So turn your engine into a self-cleaning engine and feel the clean.
My credit score is not great. It's 580, so creditors think I'm lazy. I don't think so. I lost my job last year, but now I work 2 jobs to cover my bills. I haven't had a day off in months. So I'm taking control of my credit at creditreport.com. I'm getting the information I need to understand my score and how it works. At creditreport.com, I'm not a number. I'm Stan.
Offer applies with enrollment in creditreport.com.
Even in the most uncertain times, there are some things we know for sure. There will still be weddings, still be babies, and still be bright futures. That's why New York Life has been helping families plan for the expected and unexpected for 166 years. Backed by the highest ratings for financial strength, we're safe and secure, so you can be too. Give your family the gift of a secure financial future. New York Life, the company you keep.
The 16th seed, the Stetson Hatters, so far hanging in against Tennessee early in the first half. 20-12 during the regular season. First 20-win season since 2000-2001. And the second NCAA tournament appearance, as we mentioned, losing to LSU in the first round in 2005. Stetson, located in DeLand, Florida, in the Daytona Beach area. It's a school less than 1/10 the size of Tennessee, with an enrollment of about 2,400.
And off the timeout, here comes the full court pressure by Tennessee.
You're expecting Pat Summitt to start to go inside a lot now.
Yes, I'm expecting them to start dominating the middle of the floor.
But Tierra Brown knocks down a three-pointer.
How impressive early on has Stetson been in their ability to knock down shots. They are not intimidated at all by Tennessee's length.
That's a confident-looking 16 seed at this point.
And they come off the timeout making a defensive change as well. They're into their 2-3 zone, which we thought we'd see a little bit of. They got to make sure they box out of this zone.
Bjorklund, good look, all net.
And know where Angie Bjorklund is, outside the arc.
She has 7 already, connecting on both of her triples. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind, and this is not to be overlooked, Stetson is a hot team coming in. They've won 9 of their last 10 games. Brown continues to fire away. Glory Johnson with a rebound.
Well, you've got to make shots because you're not going to get very many second chance opportunities.
Simmons, yes, she'll knock back at 2. Megan Simmons, the 5'9" freshman, rookie of the year, essentially, SEC freshman of the year. He came in averaging 14 points a game. Grabowski up top. Johnson knocks it away and steals it.
Quick hands.
Simmons, slick feed there. Strickland will cash in for 2, and it's a timeout for Stetson.
Look how quickly, when Tennessee gets into their transition game, how they can fill it up in a hurry. This is all off their transition. Tennessee starting to click right now off the timeout. They've scored 7 straight points. Bjorklund outside the arc knocks down the 3 against the 2-3 zone. And here's Simmons, a pull-up jump shot in transition. This is the pace that Tennessee wants to play. And then off their defense, they get a steal, and then they run the lanes and fill hard and finish at the rim.
Well, the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship continues on ESPN2 today. You can see either Texas take on Marquette. We've got that one coming up. Navy meeting DePaul. Tennessee Martin, which is Pat Summitt's college team, the team she played for, taking on Duke, or Central Florida facing Ohio State. Now, Pat was an outstanding player. That court is also named after her.
Yes, she's got 3. Probably a couple of streets and a couple sandwiches and a little bit of everything.
Off the turnover, Strickland. Look at the move, the ball to Johnson in close for 2. That was a beautifully run break.
There are times during the season where Tennessee can just overpower you like a snowplow. They just plow right through the other team, and they are on that run right now.
They are. It's a 9-0 run in the last 90 seconds to open up a 10-point lead. McGowan lets fly, and that didn't touch anything. Out it goes, back over to the Lady Vols. Tennessee has won 34 in a row here at Thompson Bowling Arena for Pat Summitt. They've played the nation's second most difficult schedule entering the tournament.
They always play a challenging non-conference, which helps them get ready for the next 6 games because they plan on playing 6.
That's right. That's the full intention. Inside for Kane. She draws the foul. Kelly Kane coming off the bench. Kamiko Williams also joining her in the lineup. Here's the recap on Tennessee. Their 16th regular season SEC title. So ho-hum around here. Won the SEC Player, Freshman, and Coach of the Year. And nobody touched them in the conference.
I think they have everything that it takes to make a deep run, Dave, including that one intangible about what have we done. This class of juniors was the class that got the early exit in the first round of the NCAA Tournament a couple of years ago. And they talk around here about what have we done. We expect to win the SEC title. We were picked to win it. We expect to do that. But what have they done in the NCAA Tournament? I think that keeps this team hungry and motivated.
You see all the banners. 8 times they have been crowned a national champ. they are your pick to go all the way, aren't they?
They are for several reasons. They can certainly defend the post, and they can score in the paint. With Glory Johnson getting that offensive rebound off a missed free throw.
Grabowski will pick up her second foul.
2 or 3 deep at every position, Dave. They can shoot it. This is one of the best offensive teams. And watch Glory Johnson, a little swim move on the free throw line to be able to get position inside.
She does have problems at the line. Hit the first one there, 59%. So if Glory has an Achilles heel, averaging 12 points and almost 10 rebounds a game, it's at the foul line.
Now, there was a point during the SEC where she was leading the league in double-doubles. And when she maintains that aggressive mentality on the glass, she's tough to guard, tough to box out because she's so rangy on the boards.
Brown on the drive, little teardrop in the lane off the front of that iron. Kimiko Williams to push the tempo now for the Lady Vols. Now she'll back it out as they've opened up a 21-9 lead. And the question you have watching Stetson, have they taken their best shot? And is Tennessee ready to just roll right over them? Williams with a pull-up pop for 2, and that was a sweet-looking jumper by the sophomore with the left hand.
Well, it was 10-6 at one point.
A 13-0 run has opened it up. Stetson able to hang in early. Do they have the ability to counter now? Sims on the drive. In heavy traffic and an offensive foul. So the charge against Stetson.
Mid-range jump shooters. Something that Pat Summitt has worked on with her team to add this part. It's one thing to score on the blocks, it's another outside the arc. But to have Kimiko Williams come off the bench and hit that mid-range jump shot adds to their ability to score a lot of points in a hurry. That's where the depth comes in.
Strickland, it took a hard fall moments ago on the other end of Bjorklund. There's another one from 3. She is unstoppable right now.
I mean, please, make her put the ball on the floor. Stetson's got to make her put it on the floor, dribble into her shot. She's too good spotting up.
Angie Bjorklund, now she's one of those veteran players, a senior that you spoke of, who have a little bit of chip on their shoulder and a little bit of an edge because, you know, while she's been on the floor for Tennessee, the accomplishment level has not been as high as other Tennessee teams. Got the fake off to Strickland. Yes, long one for 3. Another timeout by Lynn Bria and Stetson.
This Tennessee team is coming off shooting a program high 16 for 21 outside the arc in the SEC tournament, and you can see why. Look at Bjorklund set her feet, and then she puts it on the floor, draws help, dishes it to Strickland, who also very capable outside the arc. This is a 20-point lead all of a sudden, and it's based on the balance of Tennessee's offense.
Snap your fingers twice, and it went from a 1-point game to a 20-point game, and that's Tennessee for you. And you and I have been around Pat Summitt a lot over the years. We know what a perfectionist she is, and she'll find something that she doesn't like about what's happened so far in the first half, but I have absolutely no idea what it might be.
Well, their first segment of the half, they didn't start with the kind of focus that I think she wanted when Stetson was in it to a 1-point game. And ever since then, that timeout, they've come out and they, you know, it's like that switch or that light goes off and they decide that they're going to bring the heat.
They're pressing. They're looking for that knockout punch early if they haven't already landed it. Stetson able to get it up into the front court in a quick dish, but no by Janelle Mills. Could be the best look she gets all day. Williams gives off for Strickland, who's so strong and powers in for 2.
The most versatile player for Tennessee is Strickland, who can play 1 through 4 and can guard those positions as well.
Well, earlier this winter, Pat Summitt taking her and saying, look, you should be an All-American. It's not a question of maybe. Kane with the block. Alicia Manning into the game, comes up with a loose ball.
Well, I can tell you now, Dave, she's on my top 10 list. I think she is an All-American, and I think she has the numbers and the success to prove it.
Kelly Kane now coming off the bench, the 6'6 junior with the interior strike, 33-9.
I mean, there's 9 high school All-Americans on this team. 4 of them got to come off the bench.
9, think about that. Nobody else has that. Bank shot in close, no, and a foul. Simone Taylor gets hit with 10:15 to go here in the first half, and the Lady Vols are cooking with a 33-9 lead on the 16th seed.
Hi, I'm Reese Davis. The journey has begun for the Capital One Cup. At the end of the school year, one men's and one women's Division I athletics program will win this coveted award given to the school with the best on-field performance in NCAA Division I championships. Each winning school will receive $200,000 to fund student-athlete graduate-level scholarships. Follow your school and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com.
At Dairy Queen, we don't stop at good enough. We don't just give you a cheeseburger. We give you 2 for $2.22 or 2 doubles for $3.33. And I'm not just playing a guitar. I'm playing a guitar that sounds like dolphins.
Could you make pond algae fuel a transatlantic flight? How would you protect astronauts from space junk traveling 5 miles per second? Could you keep life-saving vaccines cold in Africa without electricity? Asking questions is a small step, but it makes a big difference, especially when a community searches for answers together. It makes us a top 10 Catholic research university. It's what makes us the University of Dayton.
At Dairy Queen, we don't stop at good enough. We don't just give you a cheeseburger. We give you 2 for $2.22 or 2 doubles for $3.33. And I'm not just playing a guitar. I'm playing a guitar that sounds like dolphins.
Good night, gluttony. A farewell long awaited. Good night, stuffy. Good night, outdated. Good night, old luxury and all of your wares. Good night, bygones everywhere. Good morning, illumination. Good morning, innovation. Good morning, unequaled inspiration.
Trey Wingo here in our studios updating you on the 6-11 matchup, Penn State versus Dayton. Dayton came out hot, hitting 7 of their first 10 shots, but back come the Nittany Lions. Julia Tregell here up and under, and Penn State has the lead. Meanwhile, Marist with a 3-point lead on Iowa State, and Bowling Green with the early lead over Georgia Tech. Let's go back to Dave and Deb.
Trey, thank you very much. A look at that Philadelphia region. First round, Penn State, Dayton, as you mentioned, DePaul and Navy coming up on ESPN2. Stetson at the line, and Simone Taylor, an 84% foul shooter. The sophomore drops in the first.
Penn State, the only team in the Big 12 to average 80 points a game this year. They can fill it up playing at home. I expect them to have a pretty good run there against Dayton, who was one of the last teams in the NCAA tournament.
Tennessee has hit 9 consecutive shots. Trying to make it 10-0. Manny with a miss. In close and off the bank shot. Alicia Brewer.
That's where the size of Tennessee, particularly on the weak side, is just too much for Stetson to deal with.
And Bjorklund all over Victoria McGowan.
They have done a great job switching on all screens to keep the pressure on.
Sims heaves one up. That glances away. And Stetson has now missed 7 straight shots. The NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship continues. You can see either Temple and Arizona State, Gonzaga meeting Iowa, Fresno State, North Carolina, with St. John's taking on Texas Tech. And off the turnover, Stetson has it. On the drive, Brown goes the other way, can't hit it with the left hand. Now a tie-up and a whistle with 9:23 to go, and will march to the other end of the floor, and a foul will go on Simone Taylor, number 1 for the Hatters.
Well, Stetson has done a pretty good job with Lynn Bria, keeping the ball out of the corners, not allowing Tennessee to trap, keeping it in the middle of the floor. They just haven't made enough shots to stem the run that Tennessee's been on, but they haven't turned it over.
Alicia Brewer to the line, the 6'3" junior out of Oklahoma. A little bit challenged at the line where she hits just 47%. But Manning out-hustles everybody. Gets it back. Bjorklund thought about a 3. Dumps it down for Brewer. In the double team. Scoop shot, no. And Stetson pulls it away.
Good double by Stetson. Force a tough shot.
We mentioned Lynn Bria in her 3rd year as the head coach at Stetson. but she also took Central Florida to the NCAA tournament. So she's been here before. The follow away by McGowan won't fall, and she goes down and very slow to get up on the other end of the floor. Brewer on the spin, denied, goes the other way. That won't drop.
Well, you know Lynn Bria is a fighter. She is the youngest of 9 siblings. That is a lot of kids in a West Virginia household. They all were athletes. They all played sports. She grew up loving this game and loving tennis.
When do you ever get into the bathroom in a house like that? The block, 8:29 to go, and a foul. Lynn Bria, Texas Women's University head coach, then Central Florida, then Ohio University. And now since 2008 at Stetson in Florida.
Now they were the 2 seed in their tournament, but they were the picked 10th in their league preseason. She did a great job this year coaching her team and getting them into the NCAA tournament.
They won just 6 games all of last year. 6-24, so quite a reversal of fortune for Stetson under Lynn, winning 20 and getting to the NCAA tournament.
We mentioned those 9 high school All-Americans, and when Vicky Ball comes in the basketball game for Tennessee, she always gets a great hand. She has endured 2 ACL injuries, and when she's feeling good, she gets quality minutes for Tennessee.
Depends on how healthy that knee is. Getting inside, no. Right back up for 2.
See, that's what she can do with her 6'4" frame and her quicks. Very explosive player.
Sims on the baseline, short jumper, no. Dribbling, tapped it to herself. How about the outlet here to Simmons? She'll take it all the way and drop it in. She is so quick.
She is nicknamed Speedy by Pat Summitt. She says the fastest player she's coached here.
And probably has never seen a shot she wouldn't take.
Exactly.
There's the block by Bond. As you mentioned, she has so much support, and in fact, Tennessee will get the ball back after Stetson mishandled it. Fans love her here, but they're going to love Simmons for a while.
You gotta love Sunday. It's like everyone came together and said, if it's good, let's save it for Sunday. So here's to the KFC $10 Sunday Bucket. 10 pieces, $10. Every Sunday. Sunday is a KFC day, and today tastes so good.
Opening day. It's when the new year really begins. This isn't Flag Day. This is ridiculously huge Flag Day. It's more presidential than President's Day. This is the day that fathers wish was their day. This is Christmas, but Santa has a black beard and delivers presents nobody wants.
I wrapped it myself.
On baseball's biggest stage, this is the anniversary no one ever forgets.
Opening day, March 31st on ESPN. Telecast presented by Dick's Sporting Goods.
What about your case?
We can usually make the insurance company pay without going to trial.
That's why I called Bart Durham.
Call the law office of Bart Durham.
I want to be treated with respect.
We'll put our experience to work for you.
I don't have the time. I'm scared to make a change. I don't have the money. School is just not my thing.
I've got too much going on right now.
What I want to do.
I'm not a fast learner. It'll take too long. I don't have the time. I'm scared to make a change. Have the money.
Enough with the excuses. At Kaplan Career Institute, you can train for a new career in less time than you think. Day and evening classes fit your busy schedule. Financial aid is available for those who qualify, so get started today. Call now at 877-826-4769. That's 877-826-4769.
The law office of Bart Durham, we get the job done.
As lawyers, we're tough, aggressive, and determined.
That's what I was looking for.
If you've been injured, call the law office of Bart Durham.
I want to be treated with respect.
We'll put our experience to work for you.
The NCAA Women's Championship is brought to you by Verizon Wireless and State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Go to State Farm Nation on Facebook today.
It's a must-see here in Knoxville, the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in Tennessee. Let's put it this way, very well represented. 39-12, the lead for the Lady Vols. Deb, they're hitting 70% of their shots.
Yeah, they're plus 17 on the glass. They have more offensive rebounds than Stetson has total rebounds right now. They are really shooting it well, sharing the basketball.
Ball out to Simmons. Thought about the three. Will pop the two and drain it. Goes down on the seat of her pants, but she gets herself two to open up a 41-12 lead as the shots just keep on falling for Tennessee.
Tennessee has assisted on half their made shots early on.
And 8 out of 10 players have scored in the game for the Lady Vols. So they're getting great distribution. Sims had barely grazed the backboard. Bjorklund, nice give for Simmons. Round the back. Gets it back. Can't bank it. Manning will keep it alive. Almost a sensational play. Here's Bjorklund. Left open, but for a change, he misses one. Now the foul against Stetson on the interior. Glory Johnson will be going to the line with 6:48 to go.
You know, Dave, I have not seen anybody keep Glory Johnson off the offensive glass all season long. It's almost like you need a face guarder, and this is why she goes to the free throw line more than anybody else in the SEC. As a matter of fact, there's only a couple of players playing in the NCAA tournament. Brittany Griner for Baylor being one that have taken over 200 free throws in the season. That's a lot of free throw attempts.
Gets the first. Glory named SEC Player of the Week 4 times this season. There was a time where Pat Summitt elected to bring her off the bench for about 8 games in the middle of the season.
I think what that did for Glory is it gave her a chance to stay out of foul trouble, one, and it gave her a sense to show, a little bit of calmness coming off the bench and not be in such a hurry. There's playing fast and then there's playing in a hurry, and sometimes Glory doesn't differentiate between the two.
Well, Stetson certainly didn't look intimidated when the game started. For about 4 or 5 minutes, they hung in. Now reality has set in a big way, down by 30 on Pat Summitt's floor. Taylor, the kick here for Sims. And the shots aren't dropping. They were in the initial 3 or 4 minutes for the Hatters.
Well, I thought Lynn Bria did a great job getting her team ready to come in here, understanding how tough it would be and the kind of toughness you have to match. And they did do that at the very beginning of the game. They made shots that allowed them to set their defense.
That's a traveling violation on Vicky Bosch. She'll give it up on the walk here. 4th turnover for Tennessee. The NCAA Wrestling Championships conclude tonight in Philadelphia. Catch the finals at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN3.com. For more information on this event and the Women's Basketball Championship, go to NCAA.com. It's the home for all 88 NCAA championships.
Tennessee going to their half-court trap. Look at Vicky Bott, 6'4", playing safety on the back and then handling like a guard.
Johnson, it spins away. That would have been a spectacular hoop. Baugh getting together with her teammates. It was her defense and then the pass that really set up that break.
This is your 6'4" center on the backside, second level, and then look at the handle, head up. Look at that bounce pass, a little spin on it. You love it when a post player feeds another post player in transition.
So Glory Johnson back to the line. She's a native of Knoxville, Tennessee, and gets the first.
Glory went to Webb High School, Dave, played for Shelly Collier, a player that played for Pat Summitt here at Tennessee. Good shooter, Shelly Sexton Collier.
Pat enjoying the press row a little bit. And chatting with the scorer's table. So she settled into a comfortable lead. A foul on that play as Jessica Connor got hit. Connor, a senior. And we'll go to the line with 5:46 left in the half. She was fouled by Lauren Evan.
You're talking about Pat Summitt having a little bit of fun over there. I mean, how could you not? You got 8 national championships. Your 20th 30-win season. Nobody's had that many. Not even on the guys' side.
In the NCAA tournament, Pat Summitt 106-21.
And nobody has 100 wins.
The numbers 1,068 wins and just a couple of hundred losses. They tend to, kind of run together at times. But when you look at them individually, they're mind-boggling.
Yes.
One after another. That level of success is just astounding.
It's really hard to decide which one's the most impressive.
Stetson with the ball here. 5:20 to go in the first half and trying to make a mini run here. They've gone 10 minutes without a field goal. Shot clock down to 6. On the spin move, McGowan wants to shoot it from the foul line. Kind of a wild-looking shot. And the shot clock expires. It'll go back over to Tennessee. Nobody with a resume like this one. Tennessee Lady Vols head coach, 37 years. She's led Tennessee to 30 NCAA tournaments.
And I think the number for me that's the most impressive is when you look at her 37-year career here at Tennessee, she's averaged 29 wins over 37 years and only 5 losses. It's incredible, the consistency.
And who knows, maybe on a collision course after all with Connecticut. Pull-up pop, that won't drop by Williams. Back up ball, no, another effort, got it.
So look at her length. She doesn't have to rebound over her head. She can rebound out of her area. All the Tennessee rebounders, with the exception of Kelly Kane, have the ability to get it off the glass and initiate the break. Gets them into their offensive transition quickly.
46-14, Tennessee knocked away by Manning. Quick play to lay it up and in.
A great read by Manning. Terrific anticipation.
It's been a long time since I've seen so many passes tipped and deflected by one team's defense against another, even in the NCAA tournament in the early rounds. And as Tierra Brown finally, they end that long, long run without a field goal. Last one had been when it was 15-10 on the clock. And Elaine Ball getting very, very active and starting to hit all her shots.
Early position in transition, buries her defender in the rim, and a nice looking turnaround jump shot.
So Tennessee gets to 50. First team in the tournament to get to 50 points. Foul by Ball as she jumped out looking for another fast break. 50-16, Tennessee in full command.
Hi, I'm Reese Davis. The journey has begun for the Capital One Cup. At the end of the school year, one men's and one women's Division I athletics program will win this coveted award given to the school with the best on-field performance in NCAA Division I championships. Each winning school will receive $200,000 to fund student-athlete graduate-level scholarships. Follow your school and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com.
Introducing the Thunderbolt by HTC. Immense power, scorching speed. The first phone strong enough to run on the fastest, most advanced 4G network in America.
At Dairy Queen, we don't stop at good enough. We don't just give you a cheeseburger. We give you 2 for $2.22 or 2 doubles for $3.33. And I'm not just playing a guitar. I'm playing a guitar that sounds like dolphins.
In today's cars, there's self-adjusting cylinders, self-deploying spoilers. Why not a self-cleaning engine? Next generation Pennzoil motor oil cleans out up to 40% of sludge. So turn your engine into a self-cleaning engine and feel the clean.
Everybody tells them that. Dude, your car. Oh, that's okay. Here, watch this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Oh, hey, Kim.
Who is that guy? That's my agent, Rich. Can I try? Yeah, go for it. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. With a hot guy.
What's up?
This could work. Who's also sensitive?
He's a rescue.
That has a dark side.
Yo.
Hello.
Hey, dark side. Get your feet off the car.
State Farm agents are there when you need them.
Trey Wingo here with Carol Lawson and Carolyn Peck in our studios. We'll keep you updated on Tennessee against Stetson as their quest to 100 seems to be in fine form. Meanwhile, let's check in on some other games, including a good matchup going on in a 5-12 matchup in the Dayton region. Georgia Tech taking on Bowling Green, Carolyn Peck.
Well, Bowling Green knew that if they could stay with Georgia Tech and handle their defensive pressure early, that would give them an opportunity. So far, so good. The problem has been, though, the forced turnovers that Georgia Tech's been able to cause.
Well, the problem there is that they're playing Bowling Green, and they're consistently winning. They've won at least 23 games in 7 straight seasons, at least 21 in each of the last 8 seasons. We'll keep you updated on that one throughout the day. It is a 1-point game. Meanwhile, Dayton got off to a great start, Carol Lawson, against Penn State, but as you can see, Penn State has come back in this first-round matchup.
You're right. Dayton came out on fire. What did Penn State do? Colquise Washington extended the defense, came with pressure, has forced double-digit turnovers up to this point. That has allowed Penn State to get back in the game. You see the young woman with the basketball right there. Alex Bentley gets to the basket, and she's in double-figure scoring. Yeah, these two played early in the season, and Penn State won in double overtime, 112-107. So not a lot of defense being played between these two. Not at all. But, you know, when you look at these two teams, they have multiple scorers, and the way that they can get up and down the floor, it should be an exciting game. Lady Lions 8-0 all-time in NCAA tournament games played at the Bryce Jordan Center, and that's where this one is being played right now. They lead by 5 with just under 5 minutes to go in the first half. And Kara, Marist and Iowa State, Brian George's Red Foxes bring in the longest winning streak in the country, 26 straight games. And right now, they're sort of out Iowa Stating Iowa State. They're hitting 50% from deep. They're shooting well. They're doing a great job defensively of keeping Iowa State in front of them, contesting every shot. And when you look at Marist, they have 8 field goals, Trey, but 7 assists. So this is a team that shares the basketball exceptionally well. And, you know, we mentioned how well Marist was shooting, but Iowa State, who really lives by the threes so often for Bill Fennelly and company, just 1 of 7 from deep so far in this game. They can't win that way. They can't, and they can't win with Kelsey Bolte going 1 for 8. I mean, she's their leading scorer. She needs to step up, take better quality shots, and she needs to knock down a couple if Iowa State wants to come back in this one. Well, once again, turnover there. We'll keep you updated on that one as Brian George's Red Foxes in control right there, man. Let's get you back to another game that's in control. Tennessee, Dave O'Brien, handing it to Stetson.
So Tennessee with a 52-16 lead with under 2 minutes to go. And there's Brewer, one of the biggest players on the floor, to jump out and draw the foul. Should go to the line. Alicia Brewer with 2 coming, fouled by Janelle Mills.
This is a perfect example of how everyone for Tennessee is engaged on the defensive end, in a stance, playing up the line, anticipating. If you're Stetson and you can ball fake and try to go back door against him, you might have an opportunity for an easy look. But nothing has been easy today based on Tennessee's defense.
Brewer, a couple of years ago, named the SEC's 6th Woman of the Year. That was as a sophomore, but played only 17 games during the regular season as a junior because of off-season surgery on her Achilles. Kimiko Williams will step out. And Sydney Smallbone is going to get a chance to get into the game. So Pat Summitt is going to play everybody pretty much here in the first half.
As she should. This is one of her seniors that she might not look like she provides a lot when it comes to numbers, but Sydney Smallbone certainly adds in practice and is a senior leader with Angie Bjorklund for this team.
So Tennessee has already used 12 players in the game. And another tip of the cap to Pat Summitt's tremendous depth on this edition of the Lady Vols. It is scary depth. And 9 of them have already scored in the game. Sims, nice looking jump shot over Spaney.
Well, Sims is coming off a double-double, her only one of the season, where she had 24 and 12 against Jacksonville in the A-Sun championship game.
Smallbone just in. She can hit the 3, but that one won't fall. So approaching 1 minute to go in the half. Shot off target by Jessica Connor. Came in averaging 10 points a game, but she's been very quiet.
It was a good idea to try to post up Bass inside.
2-pointer for Tabor Spaney. The 6'1" sophomore, they are 16-0 all time when she scores in double figures. And now 10 Lady Vols have scored. And they are shooting lights out, around 60% for the game. Sims with a 17-footer, didn't touch anything. Well defended. Spaney to help push the tempo now for Pat Summitt. She'll shoot a long one. No, off target from 3. But they have not missed many.
Pat Summitt wants 4 people crashing the offensive glass. That won't change regardless of the opponent.
Our Home Depot halftime report coming up. Details on those games. We have a great one, we think, coming up later. Texas and Marquette in the 8-9 game. 5 seconds to go before halftime. Mills picks it up, can't cash in. It's tipped up and in right before the buzzer by Simone Taylor. And so Stetson gets to 20. The problem is Tennessee got to 55 before they did. And that's our score at halftime. The Lady Vols rocking and rolling at home with a 55-20 lead at the break as we join Trey Wingo in the studio for the Home Depot halftime report.
All right, Dave and Deb, thanks so much, and welcome indeed into the Home Depot
2011 round-by-round pick'em game presented by Applebee's. Play today at ESPN.com. Search round by round.
From the home of the Lady Vols, it's the NCAA Women's Championship presented on ESPN by Capital One. A comfortable 35-point lead at halftime for Tennessee, 55-20. They are the #1 seed in this region, taking on the 16th seed Stetson. Dave O'Brien alongside Deb Antonelli. And Tennessee for about 4 minutes, looked a little bit choppy. After that, it was blowout city.
Well, they dominated the glass, and it allowed them to get out in transition. I thought their first half team defense was terrific. They held Stetson to 21% from the floor. They got out on the break. They rebounded. They pushed the ball. Very connected on the defensive end. And you take a look at the first half. Tiara Brown took 13 shots. She's going to have to make a few more of those. But Angie Bjorklund continuing to stay on fire outside the three-point line.
Pat Summitt played 13 players in the first 20 minutes. 13, and 10 of them scored. And immediately Tennessee wins the ball back and on transition, which they did a lot. And again, after the first 4 or 5 minutes in that opening half, to open up the huge lead, Simmons straight on for 3, and they pick up where they left off.
This is as good a shooting team from the perimeter as Tennessee has ever had here. They have Bjorklund, the all-time best three-point shooter. Simmons, as a freshman, comes in and just infuses all this offensive energy.
McGowan with a make from 3. Victoria McGowan, 5'4" sophomore, one of the smallest players on the floor. Came in averaging 14 points per game. Tennessee shot nearly 60% the opening 20 minutes, 57.9%. They out-rebounded Stetson 34-13.
Both teams start out in man-to-man quarter-court defense.
And Spaney drains one from the baseline.
Just the sheer size of Tennessee and their ability to see over the top of Stetson's defense, their ability to knock down shots. I mean, they're shooting nearly 60% from the floor for the game.
And making it look easy, really. Here's McGowan again, in and out. And Glory Johnson with another rebound. She has 8.
See, Lynn Bria's Stetson team has decided not to send anybody to the offensive glass. They're more concerned about getting back and setting their defense.
So Tennessee ahead 60-23 here in round 1. Grabowski lets fly a 3. The 6'3" senior giving Stetson some life.
Very capable, Grabowski, from outside the arc. The trail 3, that's her 10th of the season.
She had some big games this season. She had 26 and 12 against Youngstown State. Hit 25 and 12 against North Florida. So she can explode. Glory Johnson trying to take advantage of her. No. Spaney picks off the loose ball. Simmons nearly lost it. Right back to Johnson. A lot of bumping, and she draws the foul. Let's go back to Grabowski moments ago.
In transition defense, the Tennessee post players sink into the paint. Glory Johnson late in getting out to contest, and Grabowski does a great job of just stopping at the top of the arc in transition and knocking down the triple.
Her grandfather, Joe Grabowski, played 13 seasons in the NBA as Johnson misses on the first one. He scored over 9,000 career points, played with a lot of teams, but he also played with Wilt Chamberlain on the Philadelphia Warriors.
That's pretty cool. She's got a nice looking hook shot like I bet her grandfather probably taught her.
Yeah, back in the day, that was the shot of choice, and he could score a bit.
Yeah, I don't understand why that shot's not more prevalent in the women's game right now, because it certainly is a great tool.
Sims on the attack, fires a wild pass out of play. It's back over to Tennessee. The 8-time national champs, and Lynn Bria, in her 3rd year at Stetson as the head coach.
You want to try to win a few of these segments in the second half, Dave. You know, play to the 4-minute media timeout. See if you can win some of these segments against Tennessee.
Pretty spin move there in close by Glory Johnson. Too much to handle. Shea Grabowski tangling up a little bit, but it doesn't bother the Lady Vols when they have a 62-26 lead. She fouls her from behind, however, with 17:23 to go.
Glory Johnson with that 6'3" frame, one of 4 players that averages in double figures for Tennessee. The skip pass and transition, the deep double bury at the rim. It's something that Tennessee works on every day in practice with their post players.
Johnson 6'3". As you can see, so long and very active defensively. It's going to be a blocking foul going against Tennessee, and Simmons, who hit the deck.
You know, as good as Tennessee's team defense was in the first half, they only committed 5 personal fouls. They've already picked up a couple here in the start of the second half.
That's number 1 on Simmons, the SEC Freshman of the Year. Jessica Connor spinning, firing, and she's fouled on the play. Simmons with the personal. Picks up 2 quick ones here in the second half. Tennessee playing their 128th NCAA tournament game today. That's more than any other school. They have advanced to a record 18 Final Fours. Many believe that this will be a year they go back to the Final Four after a couple of quick exits last season and the season before.
And for Pat Summitt, she went to 7 Final Fours before she finally won her first one in 1987.
Connor rolls that one in. Connecticut and Tennessee are number 1 seeds the same year for the 10th time. But this is just the 4th time they are top seeds on the same side of the bracket. They met once in the Final Four as number 1 seeds. That was 1996, and the Lady Vols won it 88-83. Manning in close for a bucket.
I think the one thing Pat Summitt's going to be very pleased with her team about coming away from this game is their attack mentality on both ends. They've been very aggressive with their defense. They've attacked the glass. They've attacked in transition. It's the way you want your team to play to start the NCAA tournament.
Brown with a scramble for it. Fires that one, and the pass did get into McGowan for the basket.
I don't know how she caught that.
Only 5-4. Here's Strickland swishing in a 3. Left wide open on that wing, and all net by Shakina Strickland.
I'm telling you, Dave, this is as impressive as an outing for Tennessee. The way they started the tournament here at home. They've never lost first and second round games here at home.
There's so many magic numbers when you talk about Tennessee Lady Vols basketball, and one of those is the point total here. The basket good, and she'll go to the line. But getting beyond 63 points, huge for them last 2 seasons. Tennessee 58-0 and scoring 63 or more. And they have 67 as Grabowski will go to the line.
And the one thing that Pat Summitt has always questioned about this year's team is she never knows who's going to show up. And I think right now to start the second half, I think that's what she's questioning on the defensive end.
Glory Johnson with the foul, her second. No 3-point play for Grabowski. Johnson comes away with it and draws a foul, trying to corner on the dribble. Number 1 seeds. And this was an oddity this year. I mean, pretty much beating up on each other.
And you see all the top teams played each other, which is something that each one of these coaches understands is important to play that tough non-conference schedule to prepare for someone you may meet again in the NCAA tournament.
What I think is great about this year's field and this year's tournament, there is no clear-cut dominant number 1 team. That's a 3-second violation that you can point out and say, well, they're going to run away with it. You talk to 4 different people, they might pick 4 different top seeds to win it all. 67-32 Tennessee.
ESPN Fantasy Baseball. Sign up for free at ESPN.com.
I can tell by your body language that you can't wait for me to get out of here.
Because you've been staring down my blouse.
That's true.
It's all in the eyes.
Go, go, go!
I'm already getting sued.
Breakout Kings, all new tomorrow at 10, 9 Central on A&E.
40 years ago, he wasn't worried about retirement. He'd yet to hear of mutual funds, IRAs, or annuities. Back then, he had something more important to do. He wasn't focused on his future. But fortunately, somebody else was. At USAA, we provide retirement solutions for our military, veterans, and their families. From investments to life insurance to healthcare options. Learn more with our free USAA retirement guide. Call 877-242-USAA.
I vow to be ready to go whenever you are. I vow to work even after the sun goes down. And to take a tank of gas as far as she'll go. I vow to be the most fuel-efficient Sierra ever. And now during GMC Truck Month, you can get 0% financing for 72 months on the best Sierra ever. Hurry, GMC Truck Month ends March 31st.
At Dairy Queen, we don't stop at good enough. We don't just give you a cheeseburger. We give you 2 for $2.22 or 2 doubles for $3.33. And I'm not just playing a guitar. I'm playing a guitar that sounds like dolphins.
How can Expedia save me even more on my hotel? By giving me huge discounts on rooms hotels can't always fill with unpublished rates, which means I get an even more rockin' hotel for less. Where you book matters. Expedia.
Trey Wingo here with you in our women's basketball studios. Tennessee has things firmly in hand with the Stetson Hatters. We'll keep you updated on that game. Meanwhile, a much tighter contest and somewhat surprising, perhaps. 10th-seeded Marist giving Iowa State everything they can handle. They're shooting better from deep. Let's get out to the action. Dave Fleming and Katie Christensen.
And we welcome those of you joining us from other parts of the country here at historic Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham. Marist, the 10 seed of the Philadelphia region. This is a big story developing here with a big lead against the Cyclones of Iowa State out of the Big 12. And on the inbound play, Marist draws a foul and will be shooting free throws to try to up what is already a 17-point lead for the Red Foxes. Dave Fleming, Katie Christensen, glad to have you with us here. Bill Fenley, the head coach, longtime, very successful head coach for Iowa State, has to be quite concerned about what he's seen so far.
Well, as you see, Brandy Gang, she got going early from long range, but she's earned herself a trip to the free throw line where she is a 95% free throw shooter. That is her 57th make of 60 on the season.
Well, that is remarkable and just another example of how solid this Marist team is. You may not know that much about the Red Foxes from the Metro Atlantic Conference, but this is a team that's 30-2. They have a 26-game winning streak entering the tournament, longest in women's basketball. And it's a tournament experienced team. So in some ways, despite the seeding, we shouldn't be shocked at what's going on. Now a bad pass, a whistle, and a foul, and they're calling the foul against Marist. So it'll stay Iowa State basketball. 46-27 our score. We want to remind you coverage of the Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues today and tonight on CBS, TBS, and TNT. For more information on game times and listings, go to NCAA.com. Here we are, just the beginning of the Women's Championship, one of our first games of the tournament here from Durham.
There's already been some great upsets on the men's side of things. Maybe Marist can pull one off here today. They're in good form right now.
Kelsey Bolte, the leading scorer for Iowa State. A contested shot, missed it. Poppins gets an offensive rebound and draws a foul.
Kelsey Bolte's aggression level from the start of the second half, including all of the first half, it's a marked difference. She has come out, she's looking for her shot. That is something I felt she needed to do from the beginning. This is kind of par for the course for her game. But for her team, that's why they're down the way they are, because she is a little lax in the first half of games.
That's Kelsey Bolte, all Big 12 first-team performer, averages just about 17 a game, one of the best overall shooters in all of college basketball, but she has struggled shooting. A couple of missed free throws, but the rebound tracked down by Iowa State, so they have a second chance at it.
Well, and you have to note that she's the only scorer on the team. As you see Christopherson taking a three, she's the only scorer on the team that averages in double figures, but she's going up against a Marist defensive team that is the best in the country. They only allow 48.6 points a game on the season.
Marist does a lot of things really well, and we're seeing those on display here from Durham this afternoon. 19-point lead for the Red Foxes with the ball. Brandy Gang sets up an open look. Yard off the iron, no good. Rebound out of bounds, and they will give it to Iowa State.
On that possession, you saw that Iowa State defensively, they were in their player-to-player defense, and they switched off, and that's when they went 5 out. Looked for the mismatches, just couldn't get anything going on the offense that time for Marist.
Bolte passed up the three. Now she'll take it, and she came up way short. Iowa State tried to save it in bounds, could not do it. Bill Fenley, again, is not real happy that there was not a whistle there, but that's what Katie's talking about. The opponent's point per game, first in all of women's college basketball for the Red Foxes. Field goal percentage defense excellent as well. They turn the ball over fewer times per game than anybody else in college hoops. Oliver tried the spectacular catch, could not corral it. Cyclones need to get it going, and they need to get it going soon. Bolte in the corner, down low. Poppins makes a move and scores.
Well, and Marist did such a good job in the first half of double teaming on that low block, but what Poppins did on that possession, she caught it and went straight into her move, beat the double team. That's how they have to do it to score down low.
Marist will run their half-court offense here. We saw so many beautiful sets from the Red Foxes in the first half. They were able to get open looks time and again. Yard draws a foul, knifing down the lane. So Coriel Yard gets herself to the free throw line. All Marist right now from Durham. The Red Foxes lead by 17.
So how's London?
Oh, it's amazing.
Dad, can I use the car?
Let me check.
Introducing Buick's new mobile app. It lets you check and control your lacrosse right from your smartphone, from almost anywhere.
Okay, but
Promise to have it back by 10.
Thanks, Dad.
hey, I'll start it up for you.
Seriously.
Oh, come on.
Just announced. Sign and drive this lacrosse with 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, and 0 due at signing.
Capital One presents Flashback Images. Trailing by 2 at halftime, USC dominated Tennessee in the second half to earn a 72-61 victory, becoming the first women's team to win consecutive NCAA titles. USC star forward Cheryl Miller was named Final Four Most Outstanding Player for the second straight year. For more great images, tune in to the NCAA Women's Championship, presented by Capital One.
In today's cars, there's self-adjusting cylinders, self-deploying spoilers. Why not a self-cleaning engine? Next generation Pennzoil motor oil cleans out up to 40% of sludge. So turn your engine into a self-cleaning engine and feel the clean.
At Dairy Queen, we don't stop at good enough. We don't just give you a cheeseburger. We give you 2 for $2.22 or 2 doubles for $3.33. And I'm not just playing a guitar. I'm playing a guitar that sounds like dolphins.
Yes! I got the boss's tickets on Saturday. Football! They're saying snow on Saturday, too. Record lows. Old school, the frozen tundra. Winter warriors on a merciless field. Hands frozen numb.
I'd sell those tickets if I were you.
What?
Who says the best seat at the game has to be at the game? If it's Lane, it's right in your living room. Now through March 28th, get an additional $50 off Lane Furniture.
Yeah, we see you.
Get the best seat at the game at lanecoupon.com.
The Masters, April 7th and 8th on ESPN and ESPN 3D.
Trey Wingo here in our studios updating you on the Penn State-Dayton game. Again, the Lady Lions have never lost a tournament game at the Jordan Center, and Nikki Green making sure that they move to 9-0. They have a 9-point lead right now. Tennessee, as you might imagine, rolling over Stetson. Bowling Green and Georgia Tech, a very close game. Let's get you back to Marist and Iowa State. Dave Fleming and Katie Christensen.
Trey, big lead for the Red Foxes out of the Metro Atlantic Conference against a Big 12 program, Iowa State. Allie Christofferson picked up her 4th personal foul before that last time out. So she goes to the bench. The freshman was a big part of what the Cyclones do. And out of the timeout, Coriel Yard shooting 2 free throws, makes the first. The lead at one point in the first half was up to 20. Marist has maintained since that a significant lead. Yard makes 1 of 2 at the line. Bolte shoots a 3, way too strong. Poppins gets another offensive rebound, though. That one goes down. 4-3, and Iowa State needs much more of that.
Kelsey Bolte really is a great offensive player. She had a slow first half, which is kind of the norm for her, but her aggression level in the second half, marked difference.
There's still plenty of time, over 15 minutes to go for the Cyclones to get back in this game.
Well, and if you're knocking down threes, you can make up a lot of ground.
Yard shoots a long 2 and hits it. Give the assist to Elise Caron. Nice pass, 10 points for Coriel Yard. And Katie, you identified her as somebody, if she played well, Marist was going to have a lot of success.
Well, they needed someone to step up. Normally they rely so heavily on Erica Allensbach, who has struggled here today. Not necessarily struggled. They've just done a really good job, Iowa State has, of closing her down, not giving her open looks. But it's hard to defend 5 players on the floor that can really knock down open looks. Coriel Yard is an important athlete for them, gets to the rim, scores in so many ways.
Whistle and a foul. We get a chance to remind you that the NCAA Wrestling Championships conclude tonight from Philadelphia. The finals at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN3.com. For more information, go to NCAA.com, the home of all 88 NCAA championships.
Kelsey Bolte, you've got to get her going. They run her off a lot of screens. A little bit too much right there.
They call Allensbach for her first personal foul. Fresh shot clock for the Cyclones with the basketball, trailing by 17. Cassidy Cole, not a big scorer, hands it off to the leading scorer. Bolte short on that shot. Offensive rebound. Poppins missed the follow. Here's Prinz, and she is fouled. No chance for the three-point play, but the Cyclones, definite difference here, Katie, in the second half, really trying to get on the offensive glass.
Well, and the great thing about it is they know right now that Kelsey Bolte is going to put shots up. She's been aggressive. We've talked about it. So what that does is when you know your teammate's going to start looking for her offense, you can go to the offensive glass and come up with it. But what I feel they need to look to do right now, you've got Anna Prinz, who's at the free throw line right now, being guarded by 6'2" Brandy Gang. Try to establish an inside game right now. Open up the outside a little bit. Make it easier on Kelsey Bolte to get some three-point buckets.
Well, Prinz is 6'7", just a sophomore, but very talented. Has the 5 points and 7 rebounds in the game. The foul is against Kate Oliver, who's played very well for Marist, her second personal. Prinz makes both free throws. And Iowa State starting to cut into this lead just a little bit.
Well, and you've got 3 players for Marist right now that are in double-figure scoring that are on the floor. That's one of the reasons that they have the lead they have. They're getting scoring from all over. As you see, Brandy Gang knocks down a little 10-footer.
She's got 13 points. She averages 8 a game. So she has stepped up big here on the first round of the NCAA Tournament. The junior from Ohio. Brandy Gang, who hit 3 threes in the first half to get Marist off to a quick start. Here's Cole spinning, missing. Offensive rebound poked away. Allensbach called for the foul, and that'll be 2 free throws for Chelsea Poppins. Well, the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship presented by Capital One continues on ESPN2 today, 1:30 Eastern. More regional coverage. Texas Marquette, nice matchup there. Navy, great story against DePaul. And our game here from Durham, the 2-seed Duke Blue Devils. A very intriguing matchup, Katie. The Blue Devils playing at home here at Cameron against the 15th seed Tennessee Martin Skyhawks, who are making their first ever trip to the NCAA Tournament. That all comes up at 1:30 Eastern. Poppins made the first, missed the second, and a foul against Iowa State as Maria Laterza just in the game boxed out well, and Prinz went over the back to commit the personal.
Maria Laterza is a center on this Red Fox team who comes in and provides a spark off the bench. She is one of the most fiery players, very physical, can match the physicality down low of Iowa State.
You saw the shooting numbers for Marist. If they make shots, they're very hard to beat because they do so many things well overall. And the shots have been going down. Gang gives it back. Still 9 on the shot clock. Yard came up short on that three.
Well, what makes them special is what you just saw. They move the ball so much in their offense. They're patient, they take their time, and they get open looks.
Beautiful passing team. We've seen that here today from Durham. Big story developing at Cameron Indoor. The 10 seed maybe shouldn't be a shock, but Marist from the Metro Atlantic with the nice lead against Iowa State. Prince, quick move, scores with the foul.
I really feel like that's something they need to try and do. Go inside to your big post player. Put some pressure on Marist. They're undersized inside. Yes, they do a good job of bringing double teams, but if you go quick like this and go straight into your move, you saw she beat the double team, and now she's going to the free throw line.
Laterza's third foul. She has not played big minutes, and she's in a little foul trouble. The team fouls really piling up for Marist already. So the Cyclones are going to have a chance to shoot a lot of free throws in this second half. Missed opportunity there. No three-point play for Iowa State.
Well, we mentioned it in the first half. Normally not a problem that they have. They only average 9 fouls a game.
Erica Allenstock, the leading scorer, the player of the year in the MAC, has been quiet. The freshman Ockenden no good on the three. And a long rebound. Here comes Iowa State. At one point, the lead was 20. It's down to 14, and the Cyclones have the ball. Going back down low to Prinz, makes another move. This time, no good.
Brandy Gang did a good job of pushing Prinz off the low block. That was the only thing that saved her from that bucket.
Allenstock strong on the three. Long rebound. Perron gets it. And Ockenden. Allenstock's been real quiet in terms of the scoring. She usually dominates that column for Marist.
And you see Iowa State has switched up their defensive look, giving Marist another look, going into a 2-3 zone, trying to cover the three-point line.
Shot clock now at 6. Here's a pull-up 2, no good. Laterza had it ripped away by Poppins. All of a sudden, the Red Foxes have gone quiet on the offensive end. Prinz again. She draws the foul, and Prinz is upset. She did not finish the shot, but the Cyclones going inside and starting to climb back in this game, 51-37.
Any Pizza Hut pan pizza is now just $10.
So before they come to their senses, we're stocking up.
This is our best idea ever.
Pizza Hut's world-famous pan pizza is now just $10. Any pan pizza, any size, any toppings, only $10. Add Pepsi and breadsticks for just $5 more, only at your Pizza Hut.
NCAA TV and marketing rights fees. Where does the money go? Long answer, 96% of the revenue is used to fund 88 championships and support 1,055 member colleges and universities, who together provide $2 billion annually in financial aid to more than 400,000 student athletes so they can compete and learn. Short answer, we put our money where our mission is.
Let's ring you up. Mary? What are you doing here?
It's Megan. I'm getting new insurance.
Marjorie, you've had a policy with us for 3 years.
It's been 5 years.
5 years. Well, Progressive gives Megan discounts that you guys didn't.
Paperless, safe driver, and I get great service.
Meredith, what's shaking, bacon? They'll figure it out.
Getting you the discounts you deserve. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
3, 2.
The original American space program.
1.
Launching objects into orbit since the 1800s.
Liftoff.
Where one small step turns into a slow trot home. These are the moments you live for. And with Xfinity and MLB Network, you can catch them all. Get live games, look-ins, and 24/7 coverage when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for MLB Network and over 60 other channels. All for just $9.99 more a month for 6 months. Call today.
All right, Trey Wingo here in the studios with Carol Lawson and Carolyn Peck. Let's check in on all the games going on right now. We can tell you that, as you might expect, Tennessee is doing what a #1 seed should do, dismantling Stetson at this point. They are firmly in control. So let's go elsewhere around early action right now. 5-12 matchup, Bowling Green against Georgia Tech. It was a 1-point gain at the half. It continues to be close, Carolyn Peck.
Georgia Tech has done a great job of forcing Bowling Green into 15 turnovers. Bowling Green needs to settle down, continue to get the ball to Lauren Prohaska. She's got 19 points, and she frequents the free throw line.
Doing a little bit of everything for Bowling Green, but right now Georgia Tech, as the 5 seed, has stretched that lead out. We'll keep you updated on that one. Meanwhile, Dayton and Penn State playing at the Bryce Jordan Center at University Park, and this one is going the way of the Lady Lions right now, Karen.
Well, Dayton's pulled a little bit closer. They pulled within 6, and that's because of Patrice Layler, and we've got a great point guard battle going on. You see number 20 on the Penn State bench right there? That's Alex Bentley, and then Dayton's point guard, Patrice Layler, has 14 points and 8 assists. So anything that Dayton has done good on the offensive end this afternoon, it's been because of her aggressiveness and her quickness against the Penn State pressure.
And again, Dayton knows they can play with Penn State. These two went to double overtime earlier in the year before Penn State finally won. We'll keep you updated on all these games. Meanwhile, let's get you back out to the 7-10 matchup. Marist and Iowa State. Dave Fleming and Katie Christensen have the call.
Long three for the freshman, Ockenden.
Just another player that comes in, young player off the bench, but she has the confidence to come into a big-time game and knock down open looks.
That's their first 3 of this half. And a turnover, good defense by Allensbach. Marist wearing the red, Iowa State in the white, and the smaller conference team with the big lead. Kate Oliver, no good on that 3. And a foul against the Red Foxes. The fouls have become a big story here in Durham. Already in the bonus, Iowa State will be shooting 1 and 1, and then double bonus the rest of the way. Called for the personal.
That is the one thing that Marist has struggled here today. Everything else, they're playing as usual, as is normal for them. But they have 16 fouls total in the game, and they only average on the season a little over 13, and there's still a whole 10 minutes left to play in this game.
Jessica Schroll misses, but an offensive rebound. Poppins, second chance, no good, and a third offensive rebound for the Cyclones. Rebounding has been a big story in the last few minutes. Fouls as well. Kelsey Bolte, tough pass, good catch, and the layup off the glass.
You saw she did the right thing. She penetrated, drew a couple defenders, found an open teammate who cut to the basket. That's exactly what you need to do when someone puts the ball on the floor. Dive to the basket.
So Marist out of the Metro Atlantic, 26-game win streak. At one point, a 20-point lead here in their first-round matchup with the higher-seeded Iowa State Cyclones. Kate Oliver, the jumper, no good. Another rebound, Iowa State.
And she had a tremendous first half of the game, hit from all over the floor, but she's struggling here in the second half. Kate Oliver for Marist.
Poppins found her open teammate, no good on the 3. Bolte often will make that uncontested look. It's been that kind of day for the star for Iowa State. Would have been a big shot, would have made it as close as Iowa State has been in a long while. Marist has had a big lead for a good chunk of this game. The offense has been a lot tougher for the Red Foxes in the last few minutes. Another 3 from the freshman. Might have been deflected, came up well short.
Well, and she took that from pretty deep, so you get a hand up.
Bolte and a jump ball. The arrow favors the Cyclones. NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship presented by Capital One. Continuing today at 4 Eastern on ESPN2. More regional coverage. And the matchups starting at 4 Eastern. A lot of good ones in that group. Gonzaga, Iowa. Very intriguing 11-6. St. John's, Texas Tech. The 8-9 out west.
Fresno State, another team. They actually lead the NCAA in three-point field goals made.
Here's a 3. Mansfield short. Rebound Oliver. The rebound numbers have been very skewed in favor of Iowa State. 38 rebounds for the Cyclones, 23 now for Marist. That's been Iowa State's real one advantage in this game. We get a whistle underneath the basket. Oliver fouled, so that's a foul against Iowa State.
Well, She does a good job of just standing her ground, but they call it for the little wrap inside.
Alan Spock underneath the basket will inbound. The leading scorer having a quiet offensive game for Marist. Backup point guard best in the game, and they sag off her defensively. Corio Yarn. Oliver down low. And a tough shot. Bainan could not get it to go. 15-point game. Iowa State making a push here. Now a whistle and another foul against Marist. This one a long way away from the ball. It's going to mean more free throws for the Cyclones.
Well, this is something that Marist needs to be extremely careful of at this point, because what it is doing is it's changing the tempo of the game. There's a lot of stoppages in play. It's allowing Iowa State to be the team that they like to be, which is a half-court team. They're not making them defend in transition. Very, very big point right here. Marist doesn't foul a lot normally. They need to get it under control right now.
Prince makes the first, and this is double bonus for the rest of the way for better than 8 minutes. She's got 11. Anna Prince, very talented sophomore, 6'7", averages just 9 a game. So she's had an excellent afternoon so far.
Well, if you're Iowa State, you need to continue doing what you're doing. Attack the basket, chip away at this lead. If you have to do it at the free throw line, fine.
Three-point shooting has been a big difference. Marist not knocking down their shots for the outside. Part of the reason why a 20-point lead is down to 11.
Iowa State back in their 2-3 matchup zone. They're giving Marist a lot of different looks on the defensive end.
Oliver hits a three from the corner. Kate Oliver with a big shot, looking for scoring for the outside. They go to their biggest player. She's got 14. So Oliver with a big basket. Officials talking things over, and now they will send us to a timeout. Well, Iowa State trying to come from behind a big deficit to overcome. And the Cyclones starting to get it done. The Big 12 team with some big shots in these minutes.
Hi, I'm Reese Davis. The journey has begun for the Capital One Cup. At the end of the school year, one men's and one women's Division I athletics program will win this coveted award given to the school with the best on-field performance in NCAA Division I championships. Each winning school will receive $200,000 to fund student-athlete graduate-level scholarships. Follow your school and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com.
At Dairy Queen, we don't stop at good enough. We don't just give you a cheeseburger. We give you 2 for $2.22 or 2 doubles for $3.33. And I'm not just playing a guitar. I'm playing a guitar that sounds like dolphins.
How can Expedia save me even more in my hotel? By giving me huge discounts on rooms hotels can't always fill with unpublished rates, which means I get an even more rockin' hotel for less. Where you book matters. Expedia.
What does it take to fly? It takes knowing we have our work cut out for us. Flying brings more challenges every day. But if you ask any of the pilots who work here, they'll say one of the first things they learned in flight school is that if you run before the wind, you can't take off. You've got to turn into it. Face it. The thing you push against is the thing that lifts you up. So every challenge, really, is a chance to show that even in this crazy world of no liquids, take your shoes off, cost-cutting, and route cancellations, someone in this industry still has the passengers back. It starts with a simple hello, and it ends in over 350 destinations worldwide. And along the way, we'll prove we're not just building a bigger airline, we're building a better one.
Trey Wingo here in our studios, updating you on the 6-11 matchup. Penn State hosting Dayton. Alex Bentley, yes, she has 16 points. Dayton coming back in this one, though. It's a 58-51 game with just about 7.5 minutes to play. Keep in mind, the fewest points Tennessee has ever allowed in a tournament game, 37. Stetson with 32. A 9-point game, Georgia Tech over Bowling Green. Let's get you back to Marist and Iowa State.
So So lots of action all around the country. Here we are in Durham with a very intriguing game. A three right away from 6'7", Anna Prinz, and she gets the roll. And so Iowa State cuts into that lead a little bit more. It's as close as it's been in a long time. At scoreboard, you're looking at not accurate. This is a much closer game than that, and we'll get that fixed here momentarily. As Marist on offense at one point led by 20 in this game. A bad pass and a turnover for the Red Foxes. The shot right before break from that player, Kate Oliver, her foot was on the line. They reviewed, so they took a point away from Marist. A three turned into a two. Add the three from Anna Prinz, and this is a 10-point margin for Marist, as close as it's been in a long while.
Well, and Iowa State has done it the hard way. They've established an inside game. They've gotten to the free throw line. They've knocked down open threes. They're starting to really pick apart this defensive unit by Marist.
Prinz, another open look. Not this time. Allensbach grabs a defensive rebound. So Marist, great story in this tournament. First round, 10 seed, but a huge year. They were 30-2. They have a 26-game win streak. And at one point, they had a 20-point lead here this afternoon. But the Cyclones have made it a much closer game. And the Red Foxes may well have to hang on. Oliver, another long two. Her foot was on the line. No good. And a steal. Great defense there by Allensbach, just sort of sneaking in. Allensbach now will attack off the dribble. She lays it in.
Well, and she's had a tough time getting going here offensively today, but she leads her team in steals, so it's no surprise to see that she's getting her defense to give her some easy offense.
Player of the year in the MAC now, whistle and a foul. And if that's a shooting foul, that's going to be 3 free throws for Kelsey Bolte. But here was the steal that Katie was talking about. And then she knows what to do when she gets near the basket.
Well, a great job baiting them into that outlet pass, stealing the ball, then being patient, waiting for her point guard to come back, get numbers, and then attack the rim.
Kelsey Bolte, outstanding free throw shooter, has gotten her offense going a little bit in the second half. She gets 3 free throws here. She's at 89% for the year, one of the best in the country. And she gets 3 of them. 11-point advantage for Marist. Got the roll. And Katie, you've talked about it several times here in this half. Bolte has been a second-half kind of player. Takes her a while to get it going, but then the points can come in big bunches.
Well, it's interesting because if you watch her throughout the season, she is quiet a lot in the first half of games. A lot of that has to do with the defense keying in on her early.
Closest it's been in a long time. The last time it was a single-digit lead for Marist. It was 26-18. So the Cyclones have hung in this game and really made it a game. Allensbach, crossover move, tough shot. Coryell Yard rebound. And now a player down, and it is Erica Allensbach. She is hurt. Despite her quiet offense so far today, they cannot afford to lose her. Player of the year in the Metro Atlantic. She's their senior leader, their leading scorer. She does it all for this Marist team.
Let's take a look at what happened. She attacks the rim. Tough shot. I think she just kind of came down a little awkward on her leg right there.
Maybe a hand or a wrist. She gets up and sort of flexing that left hand. She, despite not scoring, has had an all-around kind of game. 6 points, but 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And I'm sure Marist is desperate to get her healthy and back in this game.
Well, I think you talk about a lot with players on teams that they do everything for their team. And maybe that's a little overused, but she really does lead her team in so many categories. She gets it done on the defensive end, but she's just such a competitor out there on the floor, and that makes a big difference on this team.
Marist is going to have to survive at least for a moment without their leader. Gang to the basket, missed the shot. Rebound controlled by Iowa State. That was a good opportunity for Marist. They did not finish the play. Prinz makes her move. Prinz, before she got the shot off, travel. So no basket, a travel, and that's a big call.
That is a big break for Marist, because if that was by chance a foul on Kate Oliver, sending Prinz to the line, that would have been a big swing right there. But they're being very cautious. Foul trouble has been a problem. Forced her into that travel right there. That was a break for Marist.
Here's Coriel Yard. Nice move. She uses the rim as protection, but then missed the reverse. And Maris, couple close looks, not going down. Allensbach back in the game, but Bolte scores, and Iowa State has made this much, much closer. 7-point advantage for Marist.
We've seen two different players from half to half in Kelsey Bolte. She has attacked this Marist defense in every way possible, and she's gotten her team back in this game.
Iowa State tried to save it in bounds. Good hustle by Jessica Schroll. She could not save it, though. That was another shot, Katie, close to the basket, and Marist did not finish. Part of the reason why the lead is only 7.
Well, they've done a really good job in the first half of converting on open looks. They got to the basket, knocked down layups, but they are really struggling from the field in the second half today.
That was 40-20 in the first half. Iowa State has controlled the game since then. There's a foul against 6'7" Anna Prinz as Oliver put the ball on the ground. Second foul on Prinz. No free throws yet for Marist. Free throws have been a part of the comeback for the Cyclones. Marist has committed a bunch of fouls in this second half. New shot clock. Allensbach going to the basket. She draws a foul. Hits the deck hard once again, but the toughness of the senior off the bench with the injury. Erica Allensbach, no fear going in the lane.
You have to love the fact that 5'8" sees 6'7" stepping out to guard her, and she takes her straight to the rim, takes the contact, picks herself up off the floor, says, "I'll get you at the free throw line."
And Allensbach, we've said it about a lot of players in this game, but she shoots free throws extremely well. Right around 85% for the year. Every point down the stretch here for Marist trying to hang on for dear life against Iowa State will be critical.
But don't think that you're ever going to see Marist. Iowa State has put together this run, but as you've noticed, they haven't wavered at all. You haven't seen panic by Marist. They continue to run their stuff. They're not converting, but they're not going to go away from their system.
That's a veteran team. They've been to the tournament 6 years in a row, trying to advance in the tournament here in 2011 with a 9-point lead.
An IBM computer system named Watson won Jeopardy, but the real winner, humankind.
Life is really about questions and answers. This technology can help us get some of those answers.
We're going to revolutionize many, many fields with this new capability.
Healthcare, government, finance, anywhere decision-making depends on deeper understanding of the huge wealth of information that's out there.
I thought the game was the end. I'm realizing it's just the beginning. That's what I'm working on. I'm an IBMer.
In today's cars, there's self-adjusting cylinders, self-deploying spoilers. Why not a self-cleaning engine? Next generation Pennzoil motor oil cleans out up to 40% of sludge. So turn your engine into a self-cleaning engine and feel the clean.
You gotta love Sunday. It's like everyone came together and said, if it's good, let's save it for Sunday. So here's to the KFC $10 Sunday Bucket. 10 pieces, $10. Every Sunday. Sunday is a KFC day, and today tastes so good.
Call your agent. My agent? Yeah. You were driving. You know, it's cool. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Oh, hey, guys. Oof. What's up, Tony? You see what he made me do, right? It's okay. I got it. That was him. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there with the world's smallest violin. Because this is what I hear when you talk. Can I get a binky for baby Brown? Here you go. That's it. Michael Buffer. Let's get ready to rumble!
State Farm agents are there when you need them.
Introducing the Thunderbolt by HTC. Immense power, scorching speed. The first phone strong enough to run on the fastest, most advanced 4G network in America.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by the Capital One Cup. Learn more and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com.
Well, the skate toward the Frozen Four about to begin. Lacrosse season getting underway here in North Carolina, but the hockey season wrapping up, and the Division I men's ice hockey field unveiled tomorrow morning, 11:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Find information on every championship at NCAA.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Dave Fleming, Katie Christensen from historic Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, North Carolina. We've had a heck of a first-round game already. Marist 60, Iowa State 51, the higher seed down by 20 at one point. Now trailing by 9 with the basketball. 6-7, Anna Prinz hits another three.
She has been huge for this Iowa State team in the second half of this ball game. She did a really good job of coming in off the bench, didn't start at the half, started being productive down low, and since then has stepped out and is knocking them down with consistency from long range.
Closest it's been in a long time. Oliver